You're about to watch Rockin Robbie live. Bunker down and see you on the other side.
Let's fucking go! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome, in fact, to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Billups, and tonight we have a great show planned for you. We're going to be talking about Deadpool and the Wolverine in all of its spoilerific glory, and we're also going to be talking about all kinds of other things here on Rockin Robbie Live. This is the show where we gather and talk about comics, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. And I am sorry for the late start, but I gotta be honest with y'all. My old ass fell asleep on the couch. I woke up, I was like, Alexa, what time is it? They're like, 7:07. I'm like, what? That's the first time that's ever happened, y'all. I had to take a nap. That's how old we're getting. But don't worry. Remember, though, everybody, take your medication. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. We have that great show planned tonight. We're going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. That's going to be like the main event. There is no DC sneak peek this week because DC only has one book releasing this week that I was going to read, and I haven't read it yet. So, yeah, no DC sneak peek. But Deadpool and the Wolverine, and we'll be talking about some of that San Diego Comic-Con news. In particular, I see Hammer Time Holshoe already in the chat asking about the Doctor Doom casting announcement, and y'all know I got some fucking thoughts about that shit. So, that's what we're doing tonight. But before we get into the show, let me say you should follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at Pop Culture Philosophers. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can also follow me on X at the Rockin Robbie. You can support the channel with Super Chat over at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. Check out podcasts and more over at popculturephilosophers.com. So that's it for that. Oh, I never set up. All right. So tomorrow night on the channel, or should I say last week on the channel, we talked about Blade, but I'm about to change this real quick. So tomorrow night on the channel at 8 p.m. Central Time, join us for the finale of Actionfest 2024 as we talk about the Dark Knight trilogy, one of the most complete and perfect trilogies in film of all time. I just wrapped up rewatching these films this afternoon, actually. So super excited to be talking about the Dark Knight trilogy. That's tomorrow night on Actionfest 2024 for the grand finale. Then we're taking 2 weeks off for PCP movie night, but then we're coming right back in with Horrorfest. That's right, Horrorfest kicks off August 19th, 2024, here on Pop Culture Philosophers with PCP Movie Night. It goes across 3 different channels: PCP, Blood Splatter Chatter, Dylan's Horror Show, 51 movies across 3 channels, across 35 individual shows. Each channel has a double feature, and let's take a look at that list once again before we get started. It's a crazy list, y'all. It's the most bloody and transgressive Horrorfest list that we've ever had here across 3 different channels: Pop Culture Philosophers, Blood Splatter Chatter, and Dylan's Horror Show, everybody. But join us tomorrow night, because we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, the conclusion of Actionfest 2024 with the Dark Knight trilogy here on PCP Movie Night. What is up, everybody? How you doing? Sorry we were late. Like I said, I fell asleep. My old ass just fell asleep. I would take a shot, but I don't want to fall asleep again. All right. What's up, everybody? What do you want to chat about? Because even though we have a plan, grandiose, some may call it, this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. And while you get them in, and we are about to go to the chat, but before we do that, it's time for your very own official... First 5. All right, we're going through my DVD collection. I got a lot of Blu-rays. I got some VHS. I got a lot of VHSs, actually. I might have more VHSs now than I have DVDs. But we're going through the DVD collection. These are the things that I've never upgraded to Blu-ray or always felt like super special that stuck with me. And we last left it off with last week's Final 5 with Buffy Season 1. So we know where we're going now. So here is Buffy Season 2. I think this is my favorite season of Buffy. Like, Buffy Season 2 is absolutely brilliant. The stuff going on with Angel, the introduction of Spike and Drusilla. This is just top tier type stuff, but most people consider their favorite Season 3. So there's Season 3 right there. The introduction of Faith. What a great show. Buffy's one of my absolute favorites. Season 4 is considered one of the weaker seasons, but at the same time, it's an awesome season. I absolutely love it. And then we got Season 5, the introduction of Dawn, and this is a movie, or this is a series, a season of a series that a lot of people could say is some of the best Buffy there ever is. And then a personal favorite of mine is Season 6. Season 6 really means a lot to me personally. So there is some of my Buffy collection on DVD, and that concludes your First five. All right, how is everybody doing? Let's take a look at the chat. I know everybody's eager to hear my thoughts on the Doctor Doom casting. I know everybody's eager to hear my thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. Trust me, all of that is coming up soon. But the main point of this show is for me to interact with you. That's right, you, the PCP Army. So let's take a look at the chat. We got GT Key Comic in the house. What is up? The artist formerly known as Jesse Say What with a station, everybody. And by the way, can I throw in a pop? Boom, everybody. How you doing? We got DC Patrol in the house. We got Dynamite in the house. William is in the house. Evil Face Bad is in the house. Sledhead, our main man, one collection down. What is up, Fable Station, dude? Fable is back this Friday night for a Blame Fable tonight and his amazing friends. Right after our monthly review, we do have the monthly comic book review this Friday night at 6 p.m. Central Time, so do join us for that. I thought I had a slide prepared for that. Can I do this on the fly? Let's see. We're just doing it on the fly. That's what we do about this time. Everybody, you see nothing. I don't know if you hear me. You might hear me now, but we're gonna break it on down. Sorry. This is the most unprofessional episode of Rockin Robbie Live ever. All right, there we go. The monthly comic book review, the award-winning monthly comic book review, this upcoming Friday night, 6 p.m. Central Time. I threw this together on the fly. But me, Nick, Eric from 9-Panel Grid, Greg from Bearded Comic Bro, and Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a special time on Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time. So join us for that. Hammer Time Holshoes in the house is only here to hear Robbie's take on Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. We talked about it already, but I want to hear more of his thoughts. Robbie is a diehard Dr. Doom fan. Yes, you know I am, and you know I got some thoughts on that. We got James in the house. R. Ariaga is in the house. What is up, everybody? Charlie says, is this a comic release show today? No. This is Rockin Robbie Live. This is where we just talk about whatever the hell we want to. We got Easy Dick Eric from 9-Panel Grid in the house. The Name Changes is in the house. Andy is in the house asking if this is live. It is live. Andy has decided to go watch the Olympics instead. And you know what? I don't blame you. I haven't watched any of the Olympics yet, but I'm pretty sure Team USA won today, right? Right. We better have won today. If we did not win, why can I not just get the score? All right, we beat them. 110 to 84. All right, we should. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, very excited to check out some Olympics myself, my friend. I'm a super fan of diving and the basketball and all the swimming stuff. There's something about pools and that cool blue that I absolutely adore and love, and I'm super excited to, probably after the show, going to be watching a little bit of Olympics. This weekend I've had to watch a lot of Dark Knight, right? So I was helping my girlfriend move over the last week or two, and it was making my time a little bit more crunched in with all the stuff that I had to fit in. But we did it. We fit in all three of the Dark Knight movies for tomorrow night's conclusion for Actionfest with the Dark Knight trilogy. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm going to make a case for it. This is the best movie trilogy of all time. Seriously, the only thing that comes close might be Bill and Ted, because they fucked the Matrix over by making a fourth movie. But luckily, they didn't fuck this one over by making a fourth film. I know people got their opinions on Dark Knight Rises. I know people got their new opinions on The Dark Knight or Batman Begins. But y'all, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises tomorrow night. Very excited to have that chat. Hey, we got Verno from Blood Splatter Chatter in the house. What is up, dude? Verno messaged me earlier. He's like, dude, I'm sorry, but my show's going to start late. It might run into your show a little bit. Don't worry, dude. My ass fell asleep on the fucking couch, so we're a little bit late today. So seeing that you're here, I'm assuming that you're done with your show. I think you covered the first 5 episodes of The Haunting of Hill House or something like that with a homie of yours. I hope that you're not watching this show and commenting on it while you're live on your own channel. That would be a conflict of interest. Victor is here. What's up? Happy to be here. Be awesome. Got done reading Plastic #2 by Image. What the fuck? Can't wait to read more. Yeah, Plastic is a great book. Plastic was a complete series. Now we got Plastic, Death and Dolls, I believe. Doug Wagner, who's actually from my neck of the woods. We've had him on the channel before. I consider him a homie and super cool dude, and he's a great writer. And Plastic Volume 2, there are 2 issues in right now, and it's just killing it. It's just absolutely killing it. Andy wants to know if anyone's reading Blood Squad 7. I'm reading Blood Squad 7. I fucking love Blood Squad 7. Now, an easy pitch I've been giving people is that if you like The Boys, you should read this book. But it actually goes beyond that. But I feel like that's a good kind of hook to get people into it. But honestly, Blood Squad 7 is like, okay, so Joe Casey, the writer of Blood Squad 7, he did the same thing already, but differently with the Wildcats. So Wildcats was an Image property from the very first year of Image by Jim Lee, Brandon Choi, Scott Williams, and he came in and elevated the concept really high, right? Like, we even had Alan Moore do work on the Wildcats, but nobody really elevated that concept quite as much as Joe Casey did. And Joe Casey's run on Wildcats, to me, is one of the most underappreciated, undersung, and greatest comic book runs of the modern era. And yes, I say the modern era, even though it was like 20 fucking years ago. Because we're old. We fall asleep on the couch on Sunday afternoons. That's what we do. Especially when you wake up early after a night partying to go and watch Deadpool and Wolverine. I will watch that shit at 10 a.m. today, yo. I was like, when I got my ticket, I was like, 10 a.m.? We'll be fine. Then at 9 o'clock this morning, I'm like, ugh. Why did I get a ticket for 10 a.m.? It's so silly. But anyway, but yeah, Plastic is great. Blood Squad 7 is great. So the same thing that Joe Casey did to Wildcats to elevate it, he's doing that with the concept of Youngblood right now, even though we can't use the Youngblood property, the Youngblood name, or the characters' names. He's basically making a fill-in team for Youngblood, since Youngblood has been exorcised from the Image shared continuity. Blood Squad 7 is the new stand-in for Youngblood. And if you're not reading Blood Squad 7, you really need to check it out. And you're going to see even more exciting things from Joe Casey in the future. Hopefully we can get him back here on the channel. He told me anytime, and I think that we're ready because he's about to launch Johnny Quest over at Dynamite from our friends over there, as well as some really exciting news that was just announced, including Ben 10, the comic book. I know a lot of Joe Casey fans are also Ben 10 fans. Speaking of Dynamite, let's give him a shout out real quick.
Hey Dynamite fans, Alex here. This week on Robbie's channel, we got some amazing claim shows, including new books like Gargoyle's Quest #3. It's going to be a great week. San Diego Comic-Con just ended, so we just have a ton of announcements. It's going to be a ton of great stuff on the shows this week. From Robbie on Pop Culture Philosophers.
I got to appreciate Alex and our team over at Dynamite for helping put that together. So the thing with Dynamite, right? Like I told you about this last week, it's changing. Like our show that we do on Fridays, which has been typically a topic-driven show with me and Rex and sometimes Amy, the Amy, Rex, and Robbie show, the Rex and Robbie show, the R&R show, whatever you want to call it, that has changed. It's now a new show called Dynamite Conversations. And what that is every week on Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be sitting with a creator, right? The idea is to do 2 creators, but honestly, I feel like I don't like doing 30-minute interviews. If you checked out the inaugural episode on Friday, we did the first half of the show with Dan Wickline, who's got a new book, Karma Book 2, on the horizon. I read Karma Book 1. It's an erotic comic book, slice of life, rom-com type thing. I had a lot of fun reading it, dude. It was super sexy, and it was really fun. But it was great talking to Dan, and that conversation could have kept going. Then we brought Alex in and we talked about some of the San Diego Comic-Con announcements. So I think going forward, I'm going to push for just 1 creator a week because y'all know us. Most of the times when we have a creator on the show, we talk for like an hour and a half or more. So Yeah, like an hour show every Friday with a creator interview. And I know a lot of people may be like, oh, Dynamite? Oh, who cares? I don't care about the new Vampirella book. I don't care about the new whatever book, right? Maleficent or whatever it is, right? But no, like Dynamite has some of the best creators working for them right now. And our relationship with Dynamite opens up a lot of doors to have extremely talented and exciting creators here on the channel. Dan Wickline was just the first. Who's coming up this week? I don't know yet. I don't think Nick's come back from Comic-Con yet, so nothing's been set up, but I'm sure we're going to have a cool, fun conversation this upcoming Friday at 11 a.m. And yeah, we're going to get Joe back on the show very soon. Joe Casey. Sledhead says, Robbie is never late. He arrives precisely when he meant to, or when the universe deems it so. I legitimately fell asleep. I straight up did. I was even thinking to myself, wouldn't it be dumb if I just fell asleep right now and I woke up and like the show should have started 30 minutes ago? Well, luckily it didn't get that deep into it, but that is exactly what the fuck happened. I hope everybody had a great weekend. So let's see. So a long week. Helping my girlfriend move. Everybody got super tired and burnt out, but it's fine because it all worked out and we got everything done. And I'm super proud of my girlfriend, and I'm super proud of all of her friends and all of her homies and all of her family who came together to really help it out. I had a really great week spending time with my girlfriend and her family in particular. They love me and I love them. So it's super cool. They're from New York, so I don't see them as often. So that was super awesome. Let's see. Friday night, I had Brooks come over because I have gotten back into Magic the Gathering. My girlfriend plays Magic the Gathering, and on July 4th, I had nothing going on, and she reached out. She's like, what are you doing tonight? Hang out with us. Play Magic. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to play Magic. I haven't played Magic since like 2012. It's been a long time, 12 years. I don't know if I want to get back into that, but I used to be into Magic. There was like a good year or two in my life, like 2010 to 2012, where I was like super into Magic. And so I played with them. I used her, like, they played Commander, and I don't typically play Commander. That's not what I played back in the day. I played 60-card decks, right? And like, for instance, Brooks is a big Magic fan, so Brooks still plays Magic. So I hung out with my girlfriend and some friends on 4th of July, and I played my girlfriend's Pirate Commander deck, and I won. I won this like 5-person game, right? This 5-player game. And then she was like, well, let's just play solo. And we played 2 games, and I beat her both times. And then she didn't really want me to be involved with her Magic group for a while. But then she relinquished, and finally, and the other thing is it kicked something in my soul. And so my favorite deck that I had back in the day was a Merfolk deck, a mono blue tribal Merfolk deck. And I loved that thing. But like, my homies got tired of playing it because it was very consistent. It was very powerful. But EDH Commander, it's a different thing. You only get 1 of each card, something like that. So it's a little bit more casual, a little bit more fun. And over the last week, I put together a Merfolk Commander deck. I did, right? And I was very excited to debut it. So Friday night, I had Brooks over, and me and Brooks played 3 games of Magic Commander together. He played 3 different decks. One of his decks, his commander was Ultra Magnus, which like blew my mind because I forgot. Even though I run a comic shop, like, I'm not super plugged into what's going on in the card community, but I had forgotten there was like a Transformers set that came out. But me and Brooks played. I won 2 out of the 3 games, but the important thing is that we had fun for 3 games. So I put together a Merfolk deck. I should go grab it for show and tell later on at the next opportunity. And then I brought it out last night, me and my girlfriend and our friends. We got together and we played. I did not win. I actually pulled a counter spell on my girlfriend, and then she got really mad about it, and she just took my ass out, basically. She just fucking cut my balls off. That's a metaphor. She cut my balls off metaphorically. But anyway, it was super fun. So that was Friday night. That was Saturday night. Friday night played with Magic with Brooks. Saturday night played Magic with my girlfriend and her friends. And then when she went home, I went over to Twin Peaks because one of the employees of my comic shop had just turned 21 and was celebrating his birthday. And so I decided to get my old ass out and go to Twin Peaks, and I drank a lot of tequila and I got a little too tipsy and probably overshared a little bit too much with like my 21-year-old employees, but had a great time. I hope they enjoyed it as well. So that's what we did last night. Woke up this morning. Why did you get your Deadpool and Wolverine tickets so early? It's because I wanted to watch it in IMAX. And the 10 o'clock show was way less empty than the 1:30 show. And I could have went to the 1:30 show and sat off to the side, but I didn't want to do that. So I went at 10 a.m. today to watch Deadpool, came home, then I went to the grocery store and came home, and then watched The Dark Knight Rises today to get ready for tomorrow night's grand finale of Actionfest 2024. Any Magic players out there, y'all? Eddie says, LOL, I was on a nap too. All right, well, no problems then. Andy says, my mom is yelling at me about shit my sister does. I took my meds. Well, that's the right thing to do. Don't take the fall for somebody else. Hey, what's up, Bakari? How are you doing? Kenneth, what is up? Name Changer says, ooh, is Deadpool Wolverine going to be mild spoilers? I just, here's the thing. When I do the Deadpool and Wolverine review, I'm going to give a spoiler-free review at first, and then I'm going to dive into spoilers. Because there's no way to talk about this movie and what really fucking ramped me up about it without, like, going into spoiler territory. Andy says he's got a computer chip inside of his thumb. I think that's the mark of the beast. You might want to get that looked at. 666. Anyway. Oh, man. All right, so Victor, no spoilers yet. No spoilers yet. But that shit killed me too. William says Doom is coming. Fable is sharing out the Blood Splatter Chatter channel. Thank you so much. Will somebody throw out the Dylan's Horror Show? Oh, Fable already did that too. Sub up already. If you're not already subbed up, sub up to Blood Splatter Chatter and Dylan's Horror Show so you don't miss a single exciting episode of Horrorfest 2024. Look at that list, y'all. It's insane. And yeah, we plan on doing a t-shirt, but we've been a little bit behind on that. Name Changes says Candyman is a solid movie. Chill Out Man says, what about part 2 and 3? Changes. He's talking to Changes. Candyman is a solid movie. What about part 2 and 3? I don't want to spoil anything, but next year, I think PCP's doing the Candyman franchise, so we'll dive into that. I have 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray. I don't have the remake on Blu-ray, but the remake's got elements of it that I like, but it is misguided towards the end, I think. I do not have fond memories of 2 and 3, though. But I do have them. I haven't seen them in years. Name Changes says, nice. The Last House on the Left is awesome. I know, it really is. And, you know, it's been included in my Horrorfest lineup for the last 2 years, but I always kind of pussied out on it. So this year I was like, no, we're going bloody, we're going transgressive, we're going subversive. And you know what? We could have went further. But I did intentionally choose movies for my lineup on PCP that were a little bit more transgressive and subversive than what we typically do. Like, we got some bangers, but like, to me, the priority wasn't bangers. It wasn't just like well-known movies that everybody loves that we can get into and talk about, like Nightmare on Elm Street. Though we are talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's part of like a mini Wes Craven fest that we got embedded into Horrorfest. But this year, I really wanted to focus in on some of these movies that were a little bit more extreme in some of its content and diving into that. So we're talking about Last House on the Left. We're talking about The Green Inferno. We're talking about The Prowler. We're talking about Ghoulies 1 and 2, man. I mean, how fucking stupid is that? So it's going to be fun. Name Changes says, It Follows is good. I've never seen It Follows, so I do plan on being on that show for Dylan, but we'll see what happens because Dylan is toying right now with the idea of having a different time and day for his show. So a lot of that's up in the air right now. We'll see what happens. Sledhead is a big fan of Dead Alive. Me too. I love that movie. Name changes says Videodrome. Yes. Absolutely. I fucking love Videodrome. We covered Videodrome last year on PCP movie night for Horrorfest, and it gave me nightmares in a really good way. Fable says, PCP Horrorfest 2024 is going to be great, dude. It's going to be more than great. It's going to be fucking amazeballs. Let's fucking go. I wish I could pop claws out. Also, everybody, please vote for the Pop Culture Philosophers. Vote for us over at the CBC Awards. We are within the final week of the nomination, the open nomination period. I'm going to throw a link in the chat if I can. There we go. I'm going to throw a link out into the chat to the website. Please nominate any of your favorite comic book YouTube channels for the CBC Awards. This, I think, is our 4th or 5th year doing it. We swept last year pretty much. Like, we won 4 out of 5 of the things we were nominated for. It was a big year, so we got a lot to defend. So please consider nominating Pop Culture Philosophers for Favorite Channel, Community Channel of the Year, Best Comic Book Review, Best Ongoing Series for the Weekly Comic Book Review, Best Collaboration for the Monthly Comic Book Review, Best Hands, because look at them, y'all. Those are some beautiful hands right there, and we will not accept a beard or hair award this year. So hands is part of the same category. That really cracks me the fuck up. Like, there's a lot of controversy last year about me getting the Best Hair and Beard award, so it would be super funny to me if I was at least nominated for Best Hands. And look at those hands. They're like witchy, well-defined, super cool hands. Those are not the hands of a typical 43-year-old. Anyway, so there is that. And also there's a new award, which is Best Live Show or Best like live show involving community involvement or something like that. But Rockin Robbie Live, y'all. Let's vote for Rockin Robbie Live. Let's nominate Rockin Robbie Live. Get that nominated because this show was built for that award. And I don't think anybody in the comic book community has a better live show than we have here. Me and you talking every Sunday night on Rockin Robbie Live. And except for when we're not on, which we're not going to be on for the next 2 weeks because next week I'm doing a ghost hunt. That's right. I got a new show that we're developing. I'm a part of. It's not my idea. It's not my brainchild. It's not my thing, but it is something I'm very much involved in. We've already done 1 episode. We filmed it. And now we're filming a 2nd episode, and it's going to be next week. So I'm taking that week off, and the week after that, I'm taking off as well. So yeah, that's going to be called Into the Deep. And if you want a sneak peek at it, well, let's fucking go.
So just, like, tell the story of...
Yeah, right there. Just kind of basically like you were saying
where
the other day.
Start?
More about having fun and about going out and doing this.
I like the show.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's just me.
It's as much about us as it is the paranormal.
Here to find some shit.
The goal is that we're going to try and get abducted by aliens, or at least see if we could see the UFO encounter.
So, what do you think's gonna happen tonight?
Probably nothing.
Probably
But
nothing.
best case scenario, man, we get sucked up there.
Yeah, if they'd arrested us, like, what would have happened? Like, we would have gone to jail and had to go to court, and they'd have showed up and looked stupid.
I'm just here to, like, you know, I'm super into, like, the idea of aliens and ultra-terrestrials and shit like that. So I want to see, like, what can we do?
And most people think of them as these nuts and bolts things, these creatures that are coming from another place, but it might not be that way. But we're also looking for this through line, this grand theory. You approach the high strangeness and all that kind of stuff, right? From like a sense of play, a sense of having fun, that's when you see it.
Exactly. And it popped across the sky and it just goes forward steady. It disappears.
Ultimately, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. You see that? Right there!
Oh, yeah. Oh, that moved. Oh! Alright, yeah, that was
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I get hit in the
Walking
face.
through the woods looking for UFO.
You know, little dude.
Oh my god.
And it's like you point to some random little like.
All right, so Into the Deep coming soon, but we're taking off next week because we are filming a ghost hunt. We did a UFO hunt. This one is a ghost hunt. We also got a Bigfoot hunt coming up. And before we continue the show, let's do the shot, y'all. This is some tequila. So station everybody. Let's have a great show. Blah. Jesus, that didn't hit right. It didn't hit like it usually does. Who would win in a horror movie, Pearl or Samara Weaver? Samara Weaving. Who's Samara Weaving? I have no idea who that is. Looking it up. Oh, she's the chick from Ready or Not or something, right? Pearl. I mean, come on. Mia Goth to me is like top tier scream queen right now. Everybody's always like talking about Jenna Ortega being like the current scream queen, and I'm like, no, it's Mia Goth. It's Mia Goth, everybody. GTK Comics says, I knew this was fucking happening. Any thoughts on the Sticky Goose video you were mentioned? I haven't seen that video. It got pulled down. I only know that there was a video because our buddy Jiment posted a reaction video to it, and that video had been pulled down, so I didn't get a chance to check it out. Now, I've been briefly mentioned in one of his videos before where he like did a channel. He did like a video about like your top 5 types of comic book YouTubers or whatever, and I was one of the new comic book day guys, and all I do is like new comic book day reviews because that's all I got, and I'm not original, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and that's fine. I don't give a shit. I only knew about that video because my buddy Nestor pointed it out to me when he was in town, actually, for visiting for the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. But yeah, apparently there was a video where they were clowning on a bunch of comic book YouTube channels, and you know what? I don't give a shit. Clown on me. That's you know what? I think that's great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's how I think about it. First of all, I don't follow that. I honestly don't follow a lot of comic book YouTube, right? The YouTube channels that I like salivate and follow are the Y-Files, Tasting History, Ballistic Burgers, and Ballistic Barbecue. Those are the channels that I consume on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And I watch a lot of like documentaries about like, I don't know, like esoteric things and like history and science and stuff like that. I don't watch a lot of comic book content. That being said, good luck to Sticky Goose, I guess. I don't fucking know. But like if he's doing videos where he's like trolling other YouTube channels or mentioning them or hating on them or whatever the fuck, right? Like, more power to you. I hope it works for you. You got a video pulled down, so I don't know how much that fucking works. Like, I've never had a video like be pulled down, but you know what? It is what it is. If I was mentioning this video, regardless of what they said, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just means that we here at Pop Culture Philosophers are, target's the wrong word, but we're definitely somebody worthy of talking about or worthy talking shit about. So fuck, it's fine with me. I didn't see the video. So if I watched the actual video, like for instance, if in the video, because I think the video was him having his wife react to comic book YouTubers or something. So if I'm in the video and they're like, what a fucking ugly piece of shit motherfucker, inauthentic and absolutely shitty, I would be like, but I would get over it very quickly. So it's no big deal to me. No, what is it? No skin off my back, but I'd like to say no skin off my sack. GTK Comic, what did they say about me? What did they fucking say? Fable says, I know everyone wants to know about the movie stuff, but me personally, I want to know your thoughts on the Kit and Sergeant Slaughter Transformers figure. Sergeant Slaughter, I saw in passing, so I didn't really dive too deep into it. But dude, the Kit fucking Knight Rider Transformers, get the fuck out of here. You know I'm excited for that one. Doo-doo, 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 I fucking think that's dope as shit, dude. I love the crossover Transformer things that they're doing. You know, they did the Jurassic Park one. I got that. They did the Back to the Future one. I got that. They did the Ghostbusters one. I got that. They did the Top Gun one. I didn't get that, but now I kind of regret it because Top Gun's one of the gayest movies I've ever seen, and I absolutely love it now. We just did that on a Patreon exclusive watch along on the VHS copy, actually. And then I think there were a few others, but those are the ones I got. But yeah, very, very pumped to have Kit as a Transformer. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. Who is your favorite Ninja Turtle? It should be no surprise. I think the question of who is your favorite Ninja Turtle is basically like a personality test. And anybody who knows me and knows my personality, you should be able to figure out who my favorite turtle is, and it's Michelangelo. Party! I'm the party dude. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Michelangelo is my favorite. What's your favorite turtle, everybody? Let us know a little bit about your personality. What's up, CNSS84? How you doing? William says Sticky Goose needs to cut the drinking. Well, so do I, but we all do. We all got our issues, right? What is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is 42. There you go. Talk about how awesome Monolith is, like the Spawn title. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not a super fan. Even though I do love Sean Lewis, and Sean Lewis is a cool dude. How tall am I? 5'10". Thanks for being here, Andy. Charlie says the meaning of life is to buy shit and die with nothing. Okay. What's up, James? What's up, Bakari? How is everybody doing? William says RDJ Jr. is only playing Dr. Doom for a few films, and a new actor will play Doom. Andy just called me a Chad. I think that's an insult, but I don't really understand it, so fuck you, Andy. Charlie says the meaning of life is just to spin, consume, destroy the planet, and die with an empty soul. All right. Charlie, I love you, but you got a little too into They Live, man. But you're right. That is the point. What's up, Trade Paper Dad? How you doing? Chill Out Man says watching the Olympics is like watching a football game. An Alabama football game. You kind of know who's going to win. Well, you're not going to win points with me with the Alabama reference, just so you know. I'm an Auburn fan, War Eagle, baby. I fucking hate Alabama. But that's not true. Maybe in the USA basketball, but here's the thing. It doesn't always work out in our favor. We'll see what happens. We got Inja Benja in the house. What is up? Nice to see you here, Inja. Charlie says, best Batman, Robert Pattinson. Took them 25 years to get the right one. Charlie, I respect your opinion. I think it's wrong. I think the best Batman is Christian Bale. And I think the best Batman films are the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm not a super fan of the Batman, the new one, but you know what? It's something I do need to revisit because I haven't seen it since it first came out. Vodka plus Gatorade? Why? This is just straight up Gatorade. I don't drink vodka. I don't like vodka. But I do have tequila, which we just took a shot of. Blood Squad 7 and Free Agents just got referenced in Local Man. Yes, they did, Sledhead. I thought that was super cool, actually. 9-Panel Grid says, Joe Casey's Wildcats is the greatest psychological thriller of the 90s. Maybe in comic book form, but in movie form, we know that the greatest psychological thriller of the 90s is Jacob's Ladder, and right behind that is The Exorcist 3. Eddie says, LOL, I saw Deadpool at 9:40 a.m. yesterday. What's up, Canadian Survivalist? How you doing? A lot of Canadian jokes and Deadpool. Bakari says, Vicious Circle, bro, is solid. Yeah, I do like it, but it's just so fucking random. When's the next issue come out? It's ridiculous. IDW is down to like 4 or 5 titles right now. No, they're down to like 8 titles, and like 7 of them are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're down to like 10 titles, and 7 of them are TMNT, and 3 of them are My Little Pony. Is Dynamite releasing a Terminator comic? Yes, they are. We talked about it a little bit on our Friday show. I'm sure we'll talk about it more here on the channel as we go. Dynamite does have a bunch of awesome books, but some people just judge a book or a publisher by their covers. Dynamite's got some great covers, by the way, especially if you like some boobies and shit. What's up, Lab Rat? How you doing? Do you play Commander for Magic the Gathering? Or here's the best way to play it. I'm in for the draft. Yeah. Right now it's Commander. Commander's what everybody seems to be playing. It's what my girlfriend plays. It's what her homies play. So when I get together with them, we play Commander. That's the deck I built. I personally do like the 60-card deck, but because they're more consistent, right? But for instance, my Merfolk 60-card deck was very, very consistent, and a lot of people stopped wanting to play it, right? But the Commander deck I put together is a little bit more fun. And yeah, that's what we're playing right now is Commander. Uncanny Suit 97 says, I don't get the reasoning that someone else can play Doom once the universe reboots. Most people aren't going to care once Secret Wars is over. This is the time to have a comic accurate Doom. We're going to get to that. Fable says, Transformers set? You trying to get me to play Magic, bro? No, but dude, they did. And now I'm like, oh, I want to fucking get a Transformers deck put together. What's the name of the deck? Or the set? The set is Universes Beyond. It's got Transformers in it. I was playing Brooks. I was like, who's your commander? He goes, Ultra Magnus. And I was like, what? Dude, they got Lord of the Rings. They got a lot of shit they've folded into Magic the Gathering. And I hear that there's upcoming a Marvel set. So that'll be interesting to see. Evil Face Bad says, Magic is fire. Been playing it for more than 25 years. Eddie says, man, I was playing Magic back in 2004 when the Mirrodin set came out. Hell yeah. Dynamite says, I just gave all my Magic cards to my nephew. Fable says, I played Magic the Gathering the first 2 years it came out and fell off. I hope you still have those cards. If you do, you got some money. Have I seen the comic trailer for Venom War? Like how they are doing it through a wrestling concept. No, I have not yet. I have not seen that trailer. Hammer Time Holshoe says, so happy DC brought back the classic logo. Yes, James Gunn debuted that the DC Studios logo was the old school bullet logo for DC, which we all know and love. And in fact, so much that PCP, one of our logos, is totally a ripoff of that. I hope you enjoy the chicken sandwich, brother. Sledhead says, Robbie's hands should be featured on one of the new EC comic covers with his witchy hands. Look at those. They do look like witchy hands, don't they? Yeah, let's do it. Chill Out Man says, Robbie, best hands. I will let those hands touch me any day. Don't make promises you can't keep, brother. Nominated for best hands, let's go. No, I need the nomination for best hands. So I need you, Eddie, to go to cbcawards.org and do it. And if you've already done it, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. I think this is from that other VHS tape that came with Blair Witch. You know, we just got that. Yeah, right. Are those videos going to be on this channel? You're talking about the Into the Deep? No, it's going to be its own thing, but we'll definitely let you know about it. Yeah, don't fuck in the woods, y'all. They're not going to kill me off in that show. Fable says, who's Sticky Goose? Screw that negativity. 100% moving on. Don't, Fable, first of all, don't come to here. Don't come to here. I'm gonna do my Carmine Falcone from Batman Begins. Don't come down here with your attitude, with your rich boy attitude, talking about fear. You don't know fear, right? Anyway, no, you know exactly who that motherfucker is, because the last time you mentioned me on a video, you were like the staunch defender of me on his channel, and that was super fucking cool. So thank you for that. Nah, though, here's the thing. You realize that once you have hater's the wrong word. I don't know who this fucking dude is. I don't know what he actually thinks about me. Who gives a shit, right? But the thing is this. They hate us because they ain't us, right? And that just means that we're at a point. Like, we're a successful fucking channel, y'all. This is a successful YouTube channel in the comic book community. All the time I tell myself we're not super successful. We only got 20K. I got friends with more than that. That doesn't matter. No. The reality of the situation is this. We, and when I say we, I mean me and you, because you make this channel, right? We have a successful YouTube channel. So people are going to come at us and they're going to make fun of us and shit like that. And it's fine. It's punching up. And I think that's fine. Yeah, James, tasting history. I fucking love that shit. Our Ariaga likes Donatello. Chill Out Man likes Raph. Fable likes Mikey. That's why we get along so well, bruh. Party. Hell yeah. Frankenfrog says, Raphael's my favorite turtle, but I would say I'm probably more of a mix between Mikey and Donnie. Name Changes says, Leonardo is my favorite turtle. BJ says, Robbie, why you stop making videos with Jim Mint collectibles? That was a long fucking time ago, bro. No, me and Jim are still homies. We're still friends. Like, he messaged me last night asking about my thoughts on the Doctor Doom thing, right? We still chat. We're still homies. We just don't do videos together because he's trying to do his own thing. I'm doing my own thing. And as we both have grown and as we both are getting more responsibilities, we have less time to do certain things. But yeah, let's fuck it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of people think like there's some kind of like animosity between me and Jim Mint. I fucking love Jim Mint. Like, he's still my fucking homie. So I need to reach out to him and be like, dude, let's do a show together just to shut this shit up. But no, we stopped doing the videos because he stopped doing the top 10 video. It wasn't working for him. He wanted to hit a certain number. It didn't work. And that's fine. Like, it's fine. Me and Jim are still super tight. We're still good. Everything's fine. Hey, what's up, S. Vaughn? How you doing, buddy? Holshoe says, the last time I checked, Japan had the most gold medals. All right, well, you're still a fucking white boy American, so why don't you slow the fuck up, all right? Real quick, hammer time. Did someone say horror? Yeah, bro, horror. You like horror movies? I would invite you to PCP movie night, but I think it coincides with your show that you do on Monday night, so I don't know. We got to get you on the show, S-Fawn. 82. Let's get you on the show. So then when we're not, like, I'll bring you onto the channel. We'll have a chat. 2 months later, people be like, why'd you stop doing fucking shit with S. Vaughn? What's going on? I have not talked about the Doom casting yet, but I know everybody's wanting me to talk about it. We'll get to it. Thoughts on Rom V's New Gods? Deo? Y'all should already know my thoughts. Rom V and Evan Cagle on New Gods. I'm all fucking in. Y'all, Rom V is like, all right, let's just break this down. Other people think I'm like some kind of brown noser or I'm like trying to be nice to people for like access to shit or something. I don't know what the fuck that even means. Access to what? You know what I'm saying? Like early PDFs? Get the fuck out of here. I can read any comic I want. That's just what we do, right? That's just how this channel rolls. I'm a comic book retailer. Like, that's the only clout I need, right? I don't need to come up here on YouTube and be like stroking fucking people off just to get like fucking access to them or their work. Like, that's not how it fucking works, right? But this is how it works. Authenticity, right? And Rom V is one of my favorite people in this community right now. Rom V is an amazing writer. He's also just an amazing dude to talk to. Like, I love talking to Rom V. And every time, except for the first time, but every time since Rom V has been on the channel, he has reached out to me and said, hey, it's been a while. Let's catch up. Let's do a show, right? I'm not seeking out this fucking shit. I know I've been let's fucking break all this shit down. I know that I've been accused of being some kind of brown-nosing fucking little sniveling fucking shit. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. Like, me and Rom are actually homies. I consider him a homie. I can reach out to Rom V if I want to and ask a question. He's going to respond. I'm not weird stretching. I'm not flexing. I'm not doing anything. I'm just saying it ain't what y'all are, what some of these people are thinking. Rom is a homie. Rom is a really great writer. Why do me and Rom have a great relationship? It's because I was into his work before he got big. Do you get what I'm saying? And people love that. Like, imagine this. If you're not an asshat, people will like you more. It's crazy. That being said, Rom V is a super cool dude to talk to, and a great fucking writer. And him and Evan Cagle are doing, by the way, the artists of Dawn Runner, they're doing a New Gods book. Get the fuck out of here. The only thing that would excite me more is if Michael Morisi and Hayden Sherman were doing that New Gods book. But actually, I think I like this news better. Yeah, out of all of the comic book news, and we got the absolute Batman, absolute Superman, absolute Wonder Woman. We got all this fucking DC news. We got all these comic book announcements because they got to get those in early on San Diego Comic-Con because then Marvel's going to take it over when they reveal Robert Downey Jr. as the new Doctor Doom, right? But yo, like the favorite thing, like my favorite news that I got from Comic-Con period, whether it's comics, movies, or whatever the fuck, was straight up Rom V and Evan Cagle on New Gods. Yes! That book is going to be so fucking good. And we'll get Rom on the channel again for that, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. Jay is up in the house, producer extraordinaire. We need positivity and people uplifting each other in the comic sphere, not trying to tear each other down. Hell yeah. What's up, Bobby? How you doing, brother? Fable says, yeah, I know who he is, but like Cena, I can't see him. That's fair enough. Fair enough. Stu is in the house. What is up, my man? How you doing? Check out Stu here on the channel. Coming up on Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Where the fuck did the thing go? Oh, as we talk about the best comics of the month for July 2024. Funk Doctor says, sup, Robbie? Black Hammer is returning in October. You still have time to catch up. Funk Doctor, formerly known as Derek. Every time I don't cover Black Hammer, some people come out, a bunch of people, not just you, a bunch of people come out and be like, why are you not talking about one of the best comics out there? I was caught up to a point, then I fell fucking behind. So you're right. I need to catch up on Black Hammer so I can get on that, right? R. Ariaga says, I remember the time that Jim Mint was stoned during the monthly comic book review. That was hilarious. Yeah, it was. He can't handle it. I'm stoned right now, by the way. So, is it true that Blood Squad 7 is the replacement for Youngblood in Image Comics? Yes, that is true. Have our check out our conversation with Joe Casey that we did like 4 or 6 months ago. He talks a little bit more about that. Mads Mikkelsen is the perfect casting for Dr. Doom. Recycling RDJ Jr. That's redundant. Robert Downey Jr. is not a good idea. I have thoughts on that too. My perfect pick is Cillian Murphy. Mads Mikkelsen would be great. Fable says, Rom V is PCP. Bobby says, with bottle in hand at the microphone, stand. Hey, yo, Robbie, what you drinking, man? I'm drinking a orange Gatorade Zero. I have had a couple shots of tequila, though, since I woke up from my fucking old man nap. Starscream, what is up? I like the fucking name. Hey, what's up, Steph? Missing Link in the house. He's going to be joining us tomorrow night for the finale of Actionfest with the Dark Knight trilogy. Verno dropped out. We replaced him with Spilio. Spilio had to drop out, so I think it's just going to be me, Jelini, Brooks, and Steph. But I think all four of us together talking about these 3 amazing movies, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. Jay says, Rom is such a nice dude. I agree. William says, I see either Tom Ellis. I rather see Tom Ellis as Dr. Doom. Who's Tom Ellis? I'm so unplugged. Oh, what do I know him from? Oh, he's the dude who played Lucifer. All right. Yeah, that's not bad. That'd be fine. Robbie, who's your favorite Green Lantern and why? Hal Jordan. Why? Because Hal Jordan was the first Green Lantern I got to know. But I really got to know Kyle Rayner, so I also really like Kyle. But it was Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern that really cemented Hal as my favorite. So, all right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about my thoughts on Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, and we're going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine with no spoilers at first, and then we're going to dive into spoilers here on Rockin Robbie Live. We'll be right back.
So just, like, tell the story of...
Yeah, right there. Just kind of basically like you were saying
where
the other
should I
day.
start?
More about having fun and about going out and doing this.
I like the show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's just me.
It's as much about us as it is the paranormal.
Here to find some shit.
The goal was that we're going to try and get abducted by aliens, or at least see if we could see the UFO encounter. What do you think's going to happen tonight?
Probably nothing.
Probably
But
nothing.
best case scenario, man, we get sucked up there.
Yeah, if they'd arrested us, like, what would have happened? Like, we would have gone to jail and had to go to court, and they'd have showed up and looked stupid.
I'm just here to, like, you know, I'm super into, like, the idea of aliens and ultra-terrestrials and shit like that. So I want to see, like, what can we do?
And most people think of them as these nuts and bolts things, these creatures that are coming from another place, but it might not be that way. But we're also looking for this through line, this grand theory. You approach the high strangeness and all that kind of stuff, right? From like a sense of play, a sense of having fun, that's when you see it.
Exactly. And it pops across the sky and it just goes forward steady. It disappears.
Ultimately, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. You see that? Right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that move. Oh! All right, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I get hit in the
Walking
face.
through the woods looking for you.
You know, little dude.
Oh, my God.
And it's like you point to some random little like.
Hey Dynamite fans, Alex here. This week on Robbie's channel, we got some amazing claim shows, including new books like Gargoyle's Quest number 3. It's going to be a great week. San Diego Comic-Con just ended, so we just have a ton of announcements. It's going to be a ton of great stuff on the shows this week. From Robbie on Pop Culture Philosophers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. Don't worry, Delight, you haven't missed a single thing. We're about to really get into the meat. All right, we've already had a great show, just catching up on things, talking about whatever it is. You know, this is the show where we gather, we talk about comics, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. I mentioned my favorite comic book announcement, my favorite announcement period from San Diego this weekend, which was Rom V and Evan Cagle on New Gods, and I cannot wait to have Rom back on the channel to talk about that leading up into that. That's going to be super fun, and we're going to make that happen here on the channel. Follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. You can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. And if you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on X, you can join me at the Rockin Robbie. You can check out podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. You can save money, a lot of links in the description below, buy some merch, do all that stuff. It really helps support the channel. Another way to help support the channel is with a super chat or by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. Also, all the support we need is a like, a share, a subscribe, share, like letting people know that this is the most happening place to be in comics on YouTube on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time, regardless of what Sticky Goose says. Coming up, we got a Deadpool and Wolverine movie review, spoiler-free at first, then into spoilers. But before that, everybody's been wanting me to tell you, I'm going to discuss my thoughts on Robert Downey Jr. cast as Doctor Doom, and I got a shot of tequila, so let's take another shot. Ass up, bottoms up, y'all. Ass up, bottoms up. Sounds good to me. All right, we now pause for station identification. Tomorrow night on the channel, we are ending Actionfest 2024 with the Dark Knight trilogy. I am very excited about this show. Very, very excited about talking about these movies. It's going to be great. We also got Horrorfest on the way. So after Actionfest concludes tomorrow night, we're taking 2 weeks off to get ready for Horrorfest. Horrorfest is going to kick off here on PCP Movie Night, August 19th, 2024, with the Paranormal Activity franchise. And then over at Blood Splatter Chatter, his first show is Carrie. Then we've got Alien Romulus for the first show over at Dylan's Horror Show. Curse of the Werewolf, the original Hammer film starring Oliver Reed on PCP Movie Night. The first double feature of the whole Horrorfest over at Blood Splatter Chatter with Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. Trilogy of Terror on Dylan's Horror Show. The original Hellraiser on PCP Movie Night. The original Candyman on Blood Splatter Chatter. Death Machine on Dylan's Horror Show. The Green Inferno, a tribute by Eli Roth to the Cannibal Holocaust on PCP Movie Night. Then we got Annihilation, a movie I've never seen, over at Blood Splatter Chatter. Friday the 13th Part 2 on Friday the 13th at Blood Splatter Chatter. Then we got a double feature at Dylan's Horror Show for Hostel and Hostel Part 2. Then we got the One Missed Call. That's right, the original Japanese One Missed Call on PCP Movie Night. A Dark Song on Blood Splatter Chatter. Innocent Blood on Dylan's Horror Show. Ghoulies 1 and Ghoulies 2, completing the trifecta of double features across the 3 channels for Horrorfest this year on PCP Movie Night. Then the Mortuary Collection on Blood Splatter Chatter. That's a good movie. A Nightmare on Elm Street, celebrating 40 years over at Dylan's Horror Show. Then we got The Last House on the Left, the very first Wes Craven official movie, non-porn, here on PCP Movie Night. Then The Hills Have Eyes on Blood Splatter Chatter. Bride of Reanimator on Dylan's Horror Show. Then we got Inferno from Dario Argento on PCP Movie Night. Scream from Blood Splatter Chatter. It Follows on Dylan's Horror Show. The Prowler on PCP Movie Night. Videodrome on Blood Splatter Chatter. Then we got Anything for Jackson on Dylan's Horror Show. I've not seen this movie, but I'm hearing good things about it. We're going into the Return of the Living Dead here on PCP Movie Night. Then we got The Others on Verno's channel, Blood Splatter Chatter. I love this movie. Just recently got it on Criterion Blu-ray. Dead Alive for the finale at Dylan's Horror Show. Then we got The Mummy, the original 1932 The Mummy on PCP Movie Night. The Exorcist franchise. And then for Blood Splatter Chatter's finale, X, Pearl, and Maxine, the X trilogy. And for the finale of all, here on PCP Movie Night, on Halloween night, we're going to be talking about Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. 51 movies talked across 3 channels on 35 shows. Get ready, y'all. It's the most transgressive and bloodiest horror fest of all time. It's the bloodiest, deadliest, most transgressive Horrorfest lineup of all time. Get ready for Horrorfest 2024. All right, don't forget also that Friday night we got the monthly comic book review here on the channel. We got Nick from Comic Culture, Eric from 9-Panel Grid, Greg from Bearded Comic Bro, and Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club. We're going to be talking Friday night, 6 p.m. Central Time, about our favorite comics of July 2024. All right, time to get back into the show. Let's take a look at the chat. I do fear that my buddy John has already left, but I saw Spilio in the chat. Spilio and Brittany have had a rough fucking couple weeks. So everybody send your thoughts and your good intentions to them. And I really love you, John. And I don't know if you're still here. I think you're gone. But John, why are you not in constant communication with me? I fucking love you. You're not acting like a boyfriend. Okay? So I need you to reach out a little bit more often. Okay, brother? I love you, though. Everybody, though, really reach out to John and Brittany. They've been going through a lot of shit lately, and we need some positive vibes into their life. Figure Drawing says, if anyone has earned the right to play Doom, it's RDJ. Besides, Marvel is up to some shenanigans, I predict. Could be a Stark variant, etc. Probably. Marvel likes to look very recent into their comic book inspirations, and the infamous Iron Man is definitely something I think they're looking at. We're about to get into that. Yeah, getting COVID sucks, by the way. Let's take a look at the chat. Can't see my Jim Steranko FF cover anymore. Are you talking about the John Romita Fantastic Four cover? Or are you talking about the John Byrne one that's right there? Because they're both still right there. But no Jim Steranko. I can't think of a moment Jim Steranko did the Fantastic Four. So that'd be interesting. That'd be really cool, actually. Especially if it happened back in the day. Name Changes says, Candyman for the win. Even the new Candyman was good. I agree, but it's a little bit misguided towards its end, I think. But it's a conversation for another day. Thank you for throwing out all those links, Fable. All right. Here's what everybody wants to know. My thoughts on Robert Downey Jr. being named as the actor portraying Dr. Doom. Let's fucking do this. I think it fucking stinks. I think it blows. I think it blows. I think it blows. I think it stinks. And I think it's a bad fucking sign for the future of the MCU. We just had a movie that we're about to be talking about, Deadpool and Wolverine. We're about to be talking about that in a full, at first non-spoilery, then full spoiler review here, right here live. You're going to get my thoughts live. But before we get into that, Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr. So they announced that the two new Avengers movies, which we previously knew as Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret War. Well, Kang Dynasty has become Avengers Doomsday, and that's leading into Avengers Secret War. So it's not Kang anymore that's the main threat, but it's Doctor Doom. Okay, Doctor Doom's the next main threat for the MCU. That's fine. We also, Fantastic Four, the movie, got its official title revealed, Fantastic Four First Steps. I think that fucking name sucks. Just call it Fantastic Four. It doesn't need to be called Fantastic Four First Steps. That's some bullshit. That's some dumb shit. We don't need it. Just call it fucking Fantastic Four. Just like when the James Gunn did his Superman movie, and it's still like we're like less than a year away from that now. It's nice to say less than a year away. But that was initially called Superman Legacy. And I was like, just call it Superman. And then they changed it. Fantastic Four First Steps, that's fuck you. That's stupid. Just call it fucking Fantastic Four. We've never had a great Fantastic Four movie. Can you just make one? We don't need First Steps. We don't need anything like that. We don't need any fucking bullshit. Just fucking make a Fantastic Four movie that's good. I don't care what the fuck it's called, honestly. First Steps, that's fine. Fantastic Four, fucking First Steps. Who gives a shit? Make a good Fantastic Four movie. Hopefully Marvel's going to do it. We'll see what happens. Then we got some Captain America news. Harrison Ford shows up. He hulks out. Whatever, that's fine. We'll see what that movie does. We'll see how it is. Thunderbolts, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about Thunderbolts? Nobody, apparently, except for David Harbour. Because he was the only guy who could be bothered to fucking show up for the San Diego Comic-Con announcement. So, whatever. It does not bode well. But we're here to talk about Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. I think it stinks. I think it's a shitty fucking announcement. I think it's bullshit, and I think it's a bad sign for the future of the MCU. Let me tell you why. First of all, we got the announcement that the next two Avengers films, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War, will be directed by the Russo brothers. We should all be fucking applauding, right? We should all be applauding. But we're not. The reason why is this. I've said this before. The way forward is never backwards. The way forward is not to go backwards at all. It's nice to like honor what came before and respect it and appreciate it and move on from that. But the key word is, the key words are move on. Bringing the Russo brothers back. Two signs of desperation. One from the MCU, one from the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers don't have faith in any property that they're going to do outside of Marvel. Marvel has no faith in any Avengers property that they're going to do without the Russo brothers. In a world, that can make sense. In a certain world, in a certain mind frame, that can make sense. But to me, it's a step backwards. The MCU has been languishing for years. Since Avengers Endgame, they've had a couple of hits, right? Spider-Man No Way Home. Me personally, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that really worked. But most Marvel movies have fallen very flat for me since Endgame. And I know a lot of people out there are like still like super into the MCU, and that's fine. You know that I'm a comic book fan. You know that I love superhero movies. I've been covering this shit my fucking whole adult life. I love this thing. I want them to succeed. But to me, it's a bad sign. Instead of finding a creator that's ready to take your vision further, let's go back to what worked before. And that's why I don't like the Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom news. Because to me, it reeks of desperation. This is Marvel going, they're done with us. What are we supposed to do? It's the equivalent of a comic book YouTube channel who feels like the relevance of their channel is done, right? And then they try to do everything they can to cook the fucking books, right? Let's do top 10 videos. Let's do top 5 videos. Let's talk shit about other channels. Let's do this. Let's talk about the controversies. Let's talk about all the bullshit. This stinks of that to me. The Russo brothers had moved on. Marvel had moved on. It hasn't worked for either of them, so let's get back together. Answer me this question, y'all. Answer me this question. If you've ever been fired from a job or quit a job and go back to it, is it the same? Is it better than it was before? No. If you ever get dumped or you break up with someone and you get back with that person, is it ever as good as it was before? In my experience, no. Not at all. The Russos left. Marvel was cool with that. Neither have found success really since. We can argue little nitpicky bullshits, right? Guardians Volume 3 worked. That was outside of the main thread of the MCU. Spider-Man No Way Home worked. That was outside of the main thread of the MCU. The main thread of the MCU has not been relevant since Endgame. It hasn't. It just hasn't. And the Russos have failed since. They haven't done anything since. What was the movie they did right after all that shit? I don't even remember. What, The Gray Man? Extraction? Cherry? When did those movies come out? Let me get my facts straight. They left Marvel to direct Cherry, a gritty crime drama that starred Tom Holland. Netflix is The Gray Man, an action thriller with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, and the Electric Slate. But here's the fucking thing. Why not new blood? Why not a new vision? They're bringing in the Russo brothers because they know that we, as a collective, as the comic book community, will go, the Russo brothers are back. The MCU is back. We're all good in their hands. But that's not true. That's a sign of desperation from the creators, from those filmmakers, the Russo brothers, as well as the company. Then we got Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Y'all know me. I'm a huge Doctor Doom fan. Huge Doctor Doom fan. I love Victor Von Doom. My favorite character in fiction of all time, out of all fiction, is Victor Von fucking Doom. And I will tell you this with authority and confidence. Robert Downey Jr. is so the wrong actor to play Victor. Just not. That's Robert Downey Jr. is not Victor Von Doom. Now, if he's playing a Tony variant where he's Doctor Doom, because he's not, they didn't say he's playing Victor Von Doom. They said he's playing Doctor Doom. But here's the thing. The first time we get Doctor Doom in the MCU, do you want it to be a fucking variant or do you want it to be the authentic Victor Von fucking Doom? Me personally, I want it to be the authentic Doctor fucking Doom. Victor Von Doom. That's what I fucking want. Cillian Murphy would kill it. Mads Mikkelsen would fucking slay it. They gave it to Robert Downey Jr. Why? Why? Do you think, honestly, that Robert Downey Jr. is the best actor to play Doctor Doom at this moment? If your answer is yes, I'm sorry, but I want whatever the fuck you're smoking, because that must be some really good shit. Robert Downey Jr. was perfect for Iron Man. He's not Victor. He's not Victor Von Doom. It's just not. And to add into the idea that he's already Tony fucking Stark. To the majority of the American movie audience, he's Tony fucking Stark. So all they're going to see is fucking Iron Man. All right, maybe you're doing the infamous Iron Man bullshit, or maybe you're doing a variant of fucking Tony where he's Doctor Doom. That's fucking fine. But you're undercutting the fucking importance and the fucking primal and visceral nature of Doctor fucking Doom. Robert Downey Jr. is not Doctor Doom. He's not Victor. But outside of that, it's sad to me. Because all you're thinking is, well, what worked before? The Russo brothers worked and Robert Downey Jr. worked. So if we bring Robert Downey Jr. out as Doctor Doom, it's going to make a big splash. And it did. Made a big deal. I'm sure they paid him a lot of fucking money for that. But I have less faith and less hope right now in the MCU because of these announcements. Because I do not believe that Kevin Feige or the rest of Marvel Studios are ready to move forward. They're stepping back. Russo brothers, y'all loved Civil War. You loved fucking Infinity War. You loved Endgame. Well, they're doing the next 2 Avengers movies. They're going to make Avengers movies for the rest of their fucking lives. How about letting the Russo brothers actually cook and do their own projects and see what they can do there first? And maybe they did. And maybe I didn't watch Cherry. I didn't watch those fucking movies. Maybe I should. But to me, it's a sense of failure. This is coming from a place of desperation. Everybody loved the MCU. Why? Somebody, some fucker in Hollywood said Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, we love Robert Downey Jr. I've loved him before the MCU. His performance in Wonder Boys is fucking wonderful. He's great in Chaplin. He's great in Johnny B. fucking good. Like, Robert Downey Jr. is fucking an amazing actor. Right? Tropic fucking Thunder, y'all. But Doctor Doom? Are you serious? Are you out of your fucking mind? There's nothing about any of his performances that he's given across his career that makes me think this guy is Doctor Doom. Especially lined up with the idea that he's already been fucking Iron Man. He's Tony Stark. So at best, what is he? He's a Tony Stark variant? Dr. Doom deserves more than that. Victor deserves more than that. Victor deserves to be his own fucking villain. His own fucking character. Realized by an actor with the fucking chops to really portray that level of... I don't even know the word right now, but he's not just like super villainous and evil, but he's got like this, he's like a Magneto, right? It's insufferable to me. It's insulting to me to cast Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, because that means to me that all you give a shit about is trying to bring more butts in that theater. All right, I get that. That should be your fucking point. Put more asses in the seats, right? That's the fucking point of making fucking content, right? Let's get more people to fucking watch it. Robert Downey Jr. is not Victor. That's not his character. That's not the characters that he portrays. He's Tony fucking Stark. But aside from that, he's already been fucking Tony Stark in the fucking MCU. It's like, are you fucking serious? Average ass Joe Blow and fucking Jane Blow are gonna be fucking like this Tony Stark. So I just feel like this is a Tony Stark fucking variant that is Doctor Doom in this reality. And other people I've seen in the chat, they've said this. This is just a variant. We'll get the real Doctor Doom soon. It doesn't fucking matter. When Doom shows up, he's got to hit or he's a miss. And if he hits as a Tony Stark variant, that's not Victor. An evil Tony Stark is not Victor Von Doom. Kevin Feige and the MCU have truly lost their way. They have truly lost their fucking way. I do not have hope for the future of the MCU anymore. Because all they're doing is going, the Russo brothers have made our biggest movies. Robert Downey Jr. was the linchpin of the Infinity Saga. So let's cast him as Doctor Doom and let them do the fucking new Avengers movies. That's a step backwards. And like I said when I started this rant, the way forward is never backwards. Think about your own fucking lives, y'all. Sometimes we can look back at what worked before and build on that. That's not what's happening here. I know what's happening here. And I'm too fucking cool to let y'all fucking know anything other than my real, true, authentic thoughts. Hiring the Russo brothers to do the next Avengers movies, hiring Robert Downey Jr. to play Victor Von Doom or Doctor Doom. They didn't say Victor, so it's Doctor Doom, so it's a variant, right? That's all bullshit. That's all them not trusting their own fucking vision, knowing they don't have a fucking plan, and thinking that they can just push buttons again and make it fucking work. I have learned this here on this YouTube channel. You can't just push fucking buttons. I can't just push the Hellboy button and make money here on the channel. But they think they can push the Russo brothers button, and they think they can push the fucking Robert Downey Jr. button and make fucking money. They're going to fall flat on their fucking asses is what's going to happen, y'all. These movies are not going to be good. Because it's going to be bullshit. Robert Downey Jr. is not Victor Von Doom. And if we get Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, we're going to get a Tony Stark fucking variant. We're over that. Deadpool and Wolverine established that. We're over this bullshit, this variant bullshit. We're done with it. Make a good movie. Give a fuck about your characters. Give a fuck about your properties. Give a fuck about your audience. They don't care about us anymore. They don't give a shit about me or you. They don't care what we think. They just think the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr., well, our biggest movie involved the two Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. So, fuck, yeah, let's do it again. No. We're already tired of this bullshit. And right now you have an opportunity. You have a movie right now, Deadpool and Wolverine, that most people are loving, me included. And I'll get to my thoughts on that very soon. But you're out of your fucking minds. You're out of your fucking minds. Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom and the Russo brothers coming back, that's a step backward. That's a few step backwards. And to me, there's no vision for the future. There's no trust in the audience. There's no care. Marvel is about to fucking implode. I think they already have. But they've been keeping themselves alive slightly with shit like Werewolf by Night and Deadpool and Wolverine and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. There have been brief moments of good shit over the last, 5 years or whatever the fuck. There is no plan. There is no plan. There's still no plan. There is still no plan. What drove Marvel's success from 2008 till 2018, 19, whatever the fuck it was? Commitment to story, commitment to character, commitment to the audience. All that is gone. It's gone. It's gone. And it ain't coming back. It ain't coming back. This was their chance. I told people privately, this is the moment. I think I even said it here publicly on the channel. This is the moment for Marvel to prove that they actually give a shit and they know what they're fucking doing. They have proven they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't really give a shit. They give a shit, but they don't give a shit about the characters. They don't give a shit about the story. They don't give a shit about the fans. No, they don't. Because they think we're so fucking stupid that we're going to see Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. and just fucking love it. They're wrong. They are wrong. And it's not going to work. That's what I think. And I'm really pissed off about it, to be honest with you. I'm really fucking pissed. Dr. Doom should be like the fucking linchpin of the Fantastic Four movie. But instead of that, we're getting Robert Downey fucking Jr.? You know he's just a Tony fucking variant. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, y'all. It's bullshit. They are taking advantage of you. They think that all you give a shit about is Robert Downey Jr.? They think all you give a shit about is Russo brothers? No. The way forward is never backwards. They're wrong. They're going to fall on their asses. I have hopes. I want to like every Marvel movie I watch. But this is not the way. It ain't happening. And Marvel is going the way of Star Wars right now, where they just don't fucking know what to do. And this has proven to me that they don't fucking know. I love Robert Downey Jr. That man's an amazing actor. And if they would have but here's the thing, even if he never played Tony Stark, and they were like, Robert Downey Jr. is Victor Von Doom, I'd be like, that's a bad casting. Because it is. And knowing that we already know him as Tony Stark, so Doctor Doom's just a Tony Stark variant. All right, maybe he gets a couple movies and then there's a new Doctor Doom that shows up. Nobody's going to care at that point. You've undercut the significance of Victor Von Doom, the greatest character in fiction of all time. The direct inspiration for people like Darth fucking Vader is Victor Von Doom. It pisses me off. They're just stroking away their fucking existence right now, the MCU. They're done. They're done. 5 years from now, you just wait. Rockin Robbie Live 2029? What's the MCU? You remember them? They were fun. They're done. They're fucking done. They can't even get a fucking Blade movie made. Fuck the MCU. Fuck these announcements. Fuck this shit. They don't know what they're fucking doing. And it's going to fucking blow up in their faces. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But I don't think I am. I really don't. I really fucking don't. All right, let's take a look at the chat. I'm sure we got some comments during all that. Damn, yeah, that goes back far. All right. Let's go through these chats real quick before we get to the Deadpool and Wolverine movie review. D-Light says, all of those multiverse stories are lame. There you go. Monstruo says, now everyone will want to sell their infamous Iron Man comics for very high prices. Yeah, sell them now before they just tank again. Oh, Steranko did the FF covers of 130 to 132. Oh, I need to check those out then. I have those books. Bobby says, they should have called it Fantastic Four the way it began. Evil Face Bad says, I'm so done with Marvel and this multiverse thing, and them hiring Robert Downey Jr. shows that they are going to continue the multiverse angle for a few more years. Delight, I'm also a huge fan of Jim Steranko. I've met him. He's a super cool dude. Very short. They did do 10 years of the Infinity Saga. You're right, Steph. Chill Out Man says, I don't care what they name the movie. Just put Ben Grimm in some shorts. Figure Drawing says, Robbie is on one. Well, thank you. I'm pissed. Like, honestly, like last night, I'm playing Magic. We're getting done. And I'm getting all these fucking messages. Jim Mint, Hammer Time Holeshoe, Brian Weaver. Like, they're all fucking messaging me. And I'm like, what's going on? Robert Downey Jr.? That's no way. And I look at the announcements and I start thinking about it. I'm like, I'm really fucking pissed about this. I'm really bothered. Figure Drawing says, uh-oh, this does not bode well for Robbie's Deadpool thoughts. Evil Face Bad says, Marvel continuing the multiverse angle has me wanting James Gunn's DC universe even more. Steph says, they tried moving on. Everyone complained. Did they, though? Did they? Did they try moving on, or did they just try throwing a bunch of fucking spaghetti at the fucking wall? They had no fucking plan. Marvel's biggest fucking problem, Marvel Studios, the MCU's biggest fucking problem is as they ended the Infinity Saga, they had no fucking plan as to what was coming. Galactus should have already been teased. Kang should have already been teased. Doctor, whatever the fuck you want to do, set it up. Because Endgame gave everybody the way out. I get what you're saying, Steph. But at the same time, they did not have a cohesive plan. I did not see the Fantastic Four leaked trailer. Evil Face Bat says, the Infinity Saga may have been 10 years, but for some reason, I enjoyed it way more than this multiverse thing. I'm done. They make that reference in Deadpool. They haven't learned their lesson. Delight says, I liked Infinity War better than Endgame. I agree. I actually liked Infinity War better than Endgame, but I do like Endgame, but I think it was a little drawn out. Production starts this week on Fantastic Four. I do have high hopes for that movie, but that first steps, just call it fucking Fantastic Four. Just call it Fantastic Four. Like, Jesus Christ. R. Ariaga says, agree 100%. Chill Out Man says, it's just hard for me to depend on the MCU right now. Evil Face Bad says, the Russos have done nothing but flop since they have left Marvel. Steph says, Deadpool and Wolverine went backwards. I would argue against that. I think it went backwards. Deadpool and Wolverine is not moving forward the MCU. Deadpool and Wolverine is ending the Fox X universe, is what it is. Figure Drawing says, Robbie spitting flames. Love it. I am interested in the Cat movie and the FF movie, though. Yeah, me too. Yeah, they got new blood for the fucking Eternals. They didn't know what. You know why they did? You know why the Eternals sucked? Because they didn't know what the fuck Jack Kirby was. They didn't know what Jack Kirby dynamism was. If you want to make an Eternals movie work, that's your first fucking step, is to understand Jack Kirby and his dynamic fucking storytelling. God damn. I'm pissed. I'm sorry. I know this is not a popular opinion. I know people are going to disagree with me. Marvel's done. They've really fucked up now. They've really fucked up. The Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom and bringing the Russo brothers back. You're done. You're done. You can't make a fucking Blade movie. You announced that over 5 fucking years ago. You can't make that work. Fuck off. New blood, but no plan, Steph. No plan. That's the fucking problem. Standalone Silver Surfer film is needed. I think he's not Victor, says Eddie. Yeah, I don't think he is either. I think he's a Tony Stark variant. So let's just undercut one of the best villains of all fucking time in all of comics real quick by having a Tony variant being Dr. fucking Doom. Do you think that Robert Downey Jr., do you think they're going to fucking make him do something different? Or do you think they're just going to try to do exactly what they think worked before? They think we're fucking idiots, y'all. They think we're fucking stupid. They think that we're just going to fucking pony up for whatever fucking shit show they parade our way. That's what they think. I thought that they had recognized their mistakes over the last 5 years. They have not. They have not. Figure Drawing says, mark my words, there will be more than one Doom. I think this is Marvel doing a slow burn. They're already done. They can't do a slow burn right now. They got to get us excited. We're already fucking done. The majority of the audience is done. Look at the fucking numbers. What's up, Circumstances? How you doing? Good to see you, brother. Let's bring you on the channel soon. Yeah, they're just playing their greatest hits. That's all they're fucking doing. I want an authentic Silver Surfer, but that hope has already been squashed. Yeah, you're right, Dynamite. It has, honestly. Chill Out Man says, in my experience, Robert Downey Jr. has never felled a role for me. I'm curious to see my boy, and I'm smoking grass, Robbie. Stop calling me out. I'm telling you, he's not Dr. Doom. And any of y'all that know Victor, you know that Robert Downey Jr., as great as he is not Victor Von Doom. Now, here's the thing. I think he could do it, but he's already Tony to the audience. So they're going to lean into that. They're going to lean into that. They're going to lean into that. Delight says, they make everything into franchises. That's what's ruining the genre. Fable says, we don't have to agree, y'all. Appreciate the different opinions. That's what makes us philosophers. Absolutely. 62 says member berries. Yeah, that's what they're fucking doing. Dude, Christopher Nolan's Silver Surfer film, that motherfucker's never going to make a superhero movie again. He doesn't have to. He's an Academy Award-winning director now. Finally. And he deserves it. Figure Drawing says, hell yeah, MCU was desperate. People have been dumping on for a while now. Yep. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a great movie. Love that movie. Oppenheimer's a great movie too. It is. It is. Marvel ain't getting Christopher Nolan, y'all. Delight says, Jack Kirby's Dr. Doom, please. Yeah, that's not what we're going to get with Robert Downey Jr. Figure Drawing says, I love Killian, but he is not physically imposing. Imagine Henry Cavill in the role. Dr. Doom's never been physically imposing. Dr. Doom is actually a weakling. His strength is in his mind. So Killian, to me, would really kill that. But there are plenty of other people that could do it. Henry Cavill would be fine, too. But Henry Cavill, to me, would be better as, like... Henry Cavill, to me, would be better as somebody like Hyperion, or... him as Hyperion would be great. But, yeah, we don't need a physically imposing actor to play Victor. We just need somebody cunning. Bobby says, Robbie, all they're saying is give it a chance. Yeah, I'll give it a chance, but I'm going to tell y'all it's going to fucking blow. It's going to blow. I've been through this shit before. Tom Hardy as Dr. Doom would be great. The problem is he'd have a weird voice.
Oh, Mr. Richards, it's so good to see you today.
That being said, I love his Bane voice. I hate his fucking Venom movies. RDJ is playing Victor, Evan, is what you're saying? Then no. That's some bullshit. He's not Victor. Sorry. It doesn't matter, Delight. If Tom Hardy can play, if RDJ can play Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom, I guess Tom Hardy could do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, it's so stupid. $62 says, Pedro as the smartest man, hard sell for me. Alistair, I renounce my wish. Deadpool went 25 years backward. That was different. That was an ending. Deadpool and Wolverine was not a beginning of the new MCU. It was an ending to the fucking everything that came before, brother. We can disagree, Steph. I'll still love you. I still think you're super sexy and awesome. But they have missed they've missed it on this. They have missed it on this, in my opinion. Rockin Robbie speaks very passionately about Victor Von Doom. He's my favorite fucking fictional character of all time. Top of only Dracula. What's up, Two Gun? I'll settle for a variant. It's better than AI. Yeah, they've never cared about us. I know. All I gotta say is that they don't really care about us. Rising stars. I personally think that the Fantastic Four cast is pretty fucking rad. I love the Fantastic Four cast. Joseph Quinn as Johnny. Vanessa Kirby as Sue. I don't know the dude playing Ben. I don't watch The Bear, but I know a lot of people that do that think he's going to be great. I think Pedro is actually fine for Reed. But Robert Downey Jr. is not Victor. And there's no way to get Tony out of the fucking audience's head. I'm sorry. They're just going to see fucking Tony. Delight says they need to make Jack Kirby's FF, not some ripoff of WandaVision. Delight, I like you more and more each comment. They do have a WandaVision kind of vibe. Figure Drawing says, but Robbie, if they did cast someone you find befitting, would that have alone given you some faith? Yeah. Yeah, if they would have announced these same announcements, but without Robert Downey Jr. or the Russo brothers, it would have given me a little bit more faith. I don't have faith in the MCU right now. at all. Period. It's done. It's over. And I just watched a movie that should have given me faith, renewed faith in the MCU. A movie I really liked, Deadpool and Wolverine, which we're about to talk about. But, no, I have no faith. They're going backwards. They're going backwards. That's how I really feel. Michael Fassbender would be a great Doctor Doom, actually. I agree. I think he would be great. Maybe they're actually trying to create some cool moments with this multiverse saga. Brother, their newest fucking movie talks shit about their own multiverse saga. It acknowledges that it hasn't worked. Here's the thing, Steph. I love you. You can... There are moments in the multiverse saga. I like Doctor Strange Part 2. I really do. It is not working. It is not working. They can have some cool moments, but they have no plan. Magneto in a different universe is fine. GT says, all due respect, Robbie, but big Hollywood studios do not care about the comic book reader. You were speaking from a comic reader's perspective, not the comic moviegoer's perspective. I disagree, GT, with all due respect, because, yeah, I'm a big comic book fan, but my ideas are not from a comic book perspective. My ideas are from a fucking movie perspective. The general audience sees Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. So all we're going to get, as my buddy Jim Mint told me, was an evil Tony Stark. Victor is not an evil Tony Stark. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Steph is throwing out my Exorcist 3 greatest 90s psychological thriller of all time, but I still love you, Robbie. Well, thank you. I still love you, Steph, too. We should have this conversation in person. Are you going to be on Blame Fable on Friday? I hope so, because I think I'm going to be there, too. If you're going to be there, I'll be there, because I'm ready to have this conversation, brother. Yo, the Agatha show looks great. I don't care. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. So they did announce it as Victor Von Doom. Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse. Yeah, Henry as Hyperion would be fucking great. That would be great. That'd be exactly, like, that would be the right fucking thing. Because you're playing, like, all right, Henry plays Superman in our universe, but a different Superman. Yeah, Jay, I got the new DC Comics logo is awesome. I love the bullet logo. Big fan. No DC sneak peek. They only have like 4 books out this week, and I haven't read any of them yet. The only one I'm going to read is Absolute Power Task Force 7, so. Yeah, he's just not Victor to me. Just not Victor. Yeah, there's an Agatha show, but here's the thing. An Agatha fucking Harkness show? Get the fuck out of here. I love you, Mary. I'm glad you're excited for it, but, like, who gives a fuck? Hey, we got a super chat. First super chat we've had in a minute. A $1 super chat, but it's enough. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. This shit, y'all. Get ready. I want to hear y'all singing along. Let me tell you about this little man I know. We really do appreciate the super chat. Daisy Falls, thank you so much. They need to set up Secret Wars somehow. Yeah, it's not been set up. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I'm ready to chat about it with you, my man, Steph, on Friday night. What did I think of X-Men 97? I've only watched half the season. I thought it was okay. Hit or miss. Hit and miss for me. What do you think about Henry Cavill being Lion-O in a Thundercats movie? I'd be cool with that. That'd be fine. I'll see you tomorrow too, Jay. Have a good night. Victor Plays says Robert Downey Jr. as RoboCop would have been way more exciting. And I agree with Steph. I'd watch the fuck out of that one too. I really would. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, Deadpool and Wolverine, y'all, here on Pop Culture Philosophers, Rockin Robbie Live.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact. Taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey Dynamite fans, Alex here. This week on Robbie's channel we got some amazing claim shows, including new books like Gargoyle's Quest number 3. It's going to be a great week. San Diego Comic-Con just ended, so we just have a ton of announcements. It's going to be a ton of great stuff on the shows this week. From Robbie on Pop Culture Philosophers.
So just, like, tell the story of...
Yeah, right there. Just kind of basically like you were saying
where
the other
should I
day.
start?
More about having fun and about going out and doing this.
I like the show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At least just me.
It's as much about us as it is the paranormal.
I'm here to find some shit.
The goal was that we're going to try and get abducted by aliens, or at least see if we could see the UFO encounter. What do you think's going to happen tonight?
Probably nothing.
Probably
But
nothing.
best case scenario, man, we get sucked up there.
Yeah, if they'd arrested us, like, what would have happened? Like, we would have gone to jail and had to go to court, and they'd have showed up and looked stupid.
I'm just here to, like, you know, I'm super into, like, the idea of aliens and ultra-terrestrials and shit like that. So I want to see, like, what can we do?
And most people think of them as these nuts and bolts things, these creatures that are coming from another place, but it might not be that way. But we're also looking for this through line, this grand theory. You approach the high strangeness and all that kind of stuff, right? From like a sense of play, a sense of having fun, that's when you see it.
Exactly. And it pops across the sky and it just goes forward steady. It disappears.
Ultimately, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. You see that? Right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that moved. Oh!
Alright, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
We're walking through the woods looking for UFO.
You know, little dude.
Oh, my God.
And it's like you point to some random little, like...
Welcome back, everybody, to Pop Culture Philosophers and Rockin Robbie Live here on the channel Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm your host, Rockin Robbie Bills. We've already had a great show tonight. I rambled and ranted about Robert Downey Jr. being cast as Victor Von Doom. We talked about a bunch of other comic book stuff, but now we're about to get into the Deadpool and Wolverine movie review. Non-spoilery at first, and then spoilers there. Support us at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there, or with the super chat tonight. But all the support we need is a like, a share, and a subscribe. Also, you can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. You can follow me on X at the Rockin Robbie. Check out tomorrow night as we conclude Actionfest with the Dark Knight trilogy. That's right, tomorrow night, the conclusion of Actionfest here on PCP Movie Night, 8 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be talking about Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. And then Friday night, you can check us out for the best comics of the month, the award-winning monthly comic book review, joined by Nick from Comic Culture, Eric from 9-Panel Grid, Greg from Bearded Comic Bro, and Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club. It's going to be a super fun show on Friday night. Then right after that, we're going to be doing the Blame Fable Tonight show, and I think I'm going to be there now so I can talk more about this RDJ Dr. Doom bullshit. So there you go. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. All right. We're about to get into it. But before we do that, it's time for a shot, everybody. Throw your drinks up. This is tequila. Wonderful. Can I announce the spoiler portion? Yes. I'm going to give my initial thoughts, Fable, and then I'll dive into spoilers. All right. Hold on. All right. Let's get our faces on. You know what? We need another shot for this. So let's go ahead and take a pause for station identification. All right, we're back. We're going to take another shot of tequila, as we do. It's not been tasting the greatest tonight. Maybe I don't like drinking after an afternoon nap. To the future of the MCU. All right. All right, I'm recording because we're going to clip this out and we're going to post this up separately. Give me just a second. Jean-Claude Van Damme is fucking Dr. Doom. Cillian Murphy. Mads Mikkelsen. That's my top two. All right. Let's make sure everybody we're being recorded now, so let's make sure we're all in our best behaviors and we look the sexiest we look. All right, here we go. Y'all are the best. I love y'all putting up with my bullshit. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, it's time to get into the movie review. Tonight, we're talking about Deadpool and the Wolverine, and we're going to do a non-spoiler review at first, and then we're going to get into spoilers, and I'll let you know right before we get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, you can check out my initial thoughts, and then dip out, go watch the movie, and then come to the spoiler thoughts. But tonight, we're about to talk about the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Deadpool and the Wolverine, the third movie in the Deadpool trilogy right now, the first Deadpool movie in the MCU, the first rated R movie in the MCU, and it got over $200 million in its opening weekend, making it the biggest opening weekend for an R-rated film of all time, and one of the greatest opening weekends of all time. I told y'all this movie was going to make $1 billion, and I think it's well on its way to do so. So what did I think about this movie? Spoiler free at first. I really loved this movie. I am not typically considered a Deadpool fan, but I did not watch Deadpool or Deadpool 2 when they first released. I watched them way later on, and I covered them here on Rockin Robbie Live. And I loved both of those movies. They had a lot of heart, they had a lot of charm, they had a lot of humor. But what about the Deadpool and the Wolverine? A lot of people are saying this is the movie that is saving the MCU. I am sad to report that this movie is not saving the MCU, but what this movie is a send-off of all of the non-Disney MCU movies before. We're talking about everything that was released that was a Marvel property that was not released by the Marvel Studios or in conjunction with Sony Pictures. This is kind of a send-off to that. But it's a solid movie. I had so much fun. I went out, I drank last night. I had a lot of fun. I regretted buying a 10 a.m. ticket, but I did. And I went and saw this movie and I had a lot of fun. It was the biggest theater experience of the year so far. As far as like people in the theater, there were a lot of people in the theater. It was the biggest crowd I have watched a movie with in a long time. And we're talking about a 10 a.m. showing on a Sunday, right? So there you go. But I really, really enjoyed this film. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is the same awesomeness that he always is as Deadpool. But then you add in Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And the way that these two characters work with each other really cracked me up. One of my favorite things about this movie is the utter annoyance that we got from Hugh Jackman's Wolverine towards Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. It really did work for me. I thought it was absolutely great. The action scenes were great. There are two solid-ass battle scenes between the two of them, and both of them rock, and one in particular rocked, and it all took place inside a Honda Odyssey. And that's a feat that no Marvel movie or no comic book superhero movie has ever made it. Hugh Jackman is back as Wolverine. We thought that we saw the end of him as Logan in Logan, right? Which was a great movie, a fantastic movie. But man, he is spot on here. He's adding more nuance to the character. He's adding more energy to the character. And this dude's like 50-something years old. He's older than me. And I feel like I'm old at this point. Actually, I don't feel old. I feel very young. But he is awesome in the movie. Ryan's great. Hugh is great. And everybody else is pretty solid too. Let's talk about the main villain, Cassandra Nova. Who is playing Cassandra Nova? I am not super familiar with this actor. So let's figure out who this is. Yep. Emma Gorin is playing Cassandra Nova, and she's doing a top-notch job. She's chewing scenery. She's having fun. She's super threatening. She's got great powers. They're showing them visually in interesting ways. There are other characters from the X-Men universe that she's kind of got in her sphere of influence, let's say. She does a great job. Then there's a bunch of cameos. Now, we already know that Lady Deadpool is here, played by Blake Lively. She's great, but there's a bunch of other cameos, too, that we're about to get into in the spoiler part of the review. But Deadpool and Wolverine. I really enjoyed this film. I had a lot of fun in the theater, right? And when I go see a movie, regardless of what I think about it beforehand, regardless of any of that stuff, when I go see a movie, it's like Dark Knight Rises. I'm like Selena Kyle getting the clean slate program, right? I wipe my mind of all anticipation and expectations and just watch the fucking movie. Deadpool and Wolverine was great. It was so much fun. It was such a fun movie. It was great seeing Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds play against each other, but at the same time, there was a lot of like self-referential and self-depreciating vibes towards this Deadpool movie, where Deadpool's recognizing that the MCU is not where it should be. Deadpool is recognizing that the Fox universe is gone, and this is a big tribute and a send-off to the Fox X-Men universe, as well as just pretty much anything that was done outside of the purview of Disney. I really, really liked this movie. I had a lot of fun. Let's talk about this. So, cast. Hugh Jackman's great. This might be one of his best performances as Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds is great in this film. The chick that is playing Cassandra Nova is great in this film. All of the performances are great in the film. Style and structure. Style's great. The costumes look good. The cinematography looks good. The action scenes look good. This is directed by Sean Levy, who we know from Stranger Things, as well as like the Night of the Museum movies and a bunch of other bullshit that like most of us don't give a shit about. But this is a really solid movie and the biggest movie of his career. And it will probably be the biggest movie of his career. It's going to make $1 billion. It just is, right? So the performances are really great. Standout to me is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I think his Wolverine is one of the best performances he's ever given as the character. Structure, I think it's fine. I do think that the structure is pretty good. There's a moment where it might slow up a little bit, but most of the slow up moments are in the very beginning of the film. Usually the slow moments are in Act 2 or the beginning of Act 3. Here they're in Act 1. Act 1 is a little slow to get started. That's one of the only nitpicks I really have against the film. It takes a little bit to get into it, right? But out like after that, it rocks. It rocks. So that's what the structure. The style is great. It's filmed really well. The action scenes are great. The special effects. You know, one of the things we've been dinging the MCU for is poor CGI. The CGI in this movie is actually pretty solid. There's even a moment where certain characters feel very CGI'd. Wolverine, in particular, in the third act, Wolverine seems very much like a CG-generated character. But it works. It works, and it feels fluid, and it just rocks, right? And the violence and the gore, it's there. It's there in a campy, fun nature. Keeps it, and it's an R-rated film. There's a lot of F-bombs in this movie. Like I said, my favorite thing about this movie is Wolverine's annoyance from Deadpool. It cracks me the fuck up. My favorite line in the film, paraphrasing, because I don't remember the exact line, because I watched it earlier. I'm going to watch it again this Wednesday with my girlfriend and our friends. But one of my favorite lines is, "He was killed by murder, you dumb fuck." Like, Wolverine is cursing, and he is so authentic in his annoyance of Deadpool. It really, really rocked for me, right? The music is really solid. The score is okay. I didn't really pick out much of the score, but there's a lot of soundtrack drops there. Like, the movie opens up with an NSYNC Bye Bye Bye. It ends with Green Day, Time of Your Life. Is something unpredictable, and in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's a great send-off to not just the Fox Marvel movies of the previous decades, but every Marvel movie of the previous decades. In fact, they could have dived deeper. They really could have. They could have had David Hasselhoff show up as Nick Fury, and that would have been even more fucking of a banger. But the music's good, and thematically, it's really good. It's got a lot of like nuanced moments with charm and heart that really set this movie off. I enjoyed it. I did not enjoy it as much as the first Deadpool. The first Deadpool is a conundrum in my head. Like, I don't like the character. I don't typically like Deadpool. I loved that first movie. The second movie was super fun as well. And Cable was great there. Man, Deadpool 3, as far as the trilogy goes, it's the weakest Deadpool movie. But as far as like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine goes, it's one of the best Wolverine movies I've ever seen. I loved it. I thought it was great. So yeah, overall, I thought it was fantastic, and I would give it, out of 5 possible ya digs, I would give this one a very incredibly strong 4 ya digs. I think the villain is solid. I think the performances are solid. I think the action is great. The humor is spot on. And all the cameos really, really work. So Deadpool and Wolverine, spoiler free, I'll give a 4 out of 5. Ryan Reynolds is great. Hugh Jackman is amazing. The performances across the board are amazing. The costumes look great. My favorite thing about the movie is the annoyance that Wolverine has for Deadpool. It really comes across. But Wolverine is the most Wolverine he's been in any of these movies. And let's fucking go. It's about fucking time. Cassandra Nova is a really great villain. There's a secondary villain as well, but she is the main villain, and I appreciate it. I like her performance. I think it works. And then there's a lot of cameos. So overall, I would give Deadpool and Wolverine a 4 out of 5 ya digs. Let's get into spoiler territory. We're about to get into spoilers, y'all. So to give everybody a chance to dip out, we're going to take another shot of tequila, as we like to do here on Rockin Robbie Live. Let everybody dip out that doesn't want spoilers. All right. Spoiler time. Here we go. I asked a homie of mine yesterday. I saw him at work. He had seen Deadpool and Wolverine. I hadn't. And I said, I don't want any spoilers, but I do want to know one thing. I said, does Wesley Snipes show up as Blade in this movie? And he looked at me, and I could see him thinking. I could see the gears turning. And he goes, no. I was like, oh, fuck. I really thought Wesley Snipes would show up as Blade. How cool would that be? I even said, man, I just thought it would be so cool if Wesley Snipes showed up as like Old Man Blade. Spoilers, Wesley Snipes shows up as the Old Man Blade in this fucking movie. And it was fucking awesome. The only thing about that is, why is his sword so fucking small? This is Blade's sword, y'all. I have it. I guess because I have Blade's sword, they didn't get to use Blade's sword in the fucking movie. They used this really like small ass fucking version of Blade's sword, but it was great. Y'all, we got Wesley Snipes is in this movie playing the character of Eric Brooks, Blade. He is Blade in this movie. He's got a weird short sword, but whatever, it doesn't matter. He's got a little bit of gray in his beard and his hair. Oh, it works. I'm so fucking excited. When that moment popped up in the video, excuse me. When that moment popped up in the movie, I was like one of the only people in the theater that like, I was clapping and I was like, yes! Yes! Fucking Blade. We just talked about Blade here on PCP Movie Night for Actionfest. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I was so excited to see Blade back in this movie. But you just don't get Blade, right? You get Jennifer Garner comes back as Elektra. That's fine. Like, do any of us have fond memories of that Elektra movie? No. Maybe the only person is Jennifer Garner, right? The Daredevil movie. I like the director's cut enough, but there's a nice reference in there where they're like, well, Daredevil kind of died, and I'm sorry to mention that. And then she's like, it doesn't matter, right? It's fine, right? Then you got, who's the other cameo? Oh, fuck. Channing Tatum shows up as Gambit. He is, as Gambit, one of the funniest fucking bits in the movie. He's cracking me the fuck up, right? So Blade had his 3 movies. You know what I'm saying? I just broke kayfabe. Blade had his 2 movies. It would have been great to have a 3rd one. Blade 3 fucking sucks. We don't acknowledge its existence here, right? But Blade 1 and 2 are amazing. The anime is amazing, and I think the fucking show with Sticky Fingers is amazing. There's even a moment in the movie where Wesley Snipes says, "There's only been one Blade, and there never will be another one." And I was watching that, like, being like, because then Deadpool makes this, like, notion, like, he doesn't know there's another Blade movie coming. And then I go, you don't know that Blade movie's never happening, bruh. But Sticky Fingers played a great Blade in the Blade TV series. The animated series is really good too. Seeing Blade was great. Jennifer Garner, she's cool. It was fine seeing her as Elektra. I mean, honestly, I think they really wanted Ben Affleck as Daredevil, but it didn't work, right? They're like, there's no way that dude's coming back to play Daredevil in any form or fashion. But it worked for Jennifer Garner for Elektra, and that was fine. But then we get Channing Tatum as Gambit. And he is one of the funniest characters in the movie. He's doing his like Creole Cajun accent, and Deadpool is mentioning that he can't recognize his fucking accent and doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. It was cracking me the fuck up because everything I don't like about Gambit, they were making fun of, including, oh, Sherry, mon ami, blah, blah, blah. And Deadpool's like, well, I don't know what the fuck you just said. It was hilarious. It was great. Channing Tatum was great. And like the big part is, so they're all part of the Void, right? Deadpool, Wolverine, they get sent to the Void. The Void is where Cassandra Nova reigns supreme, right? And there's a bunch of like forgotten ideas there. And a bunch of the leftover Marvel movies are there, including Blade, Elektra, Daredevil, shit like that. But also the Gambit movie that never happened, starring Channing Tatum. And a lot of the dialogue from him was about how he never got his chance to shine. He never got his own movie. At one point, he goes, how long have you been in the Void? He goes, I feel like I've been in the Void my entire life, mon ami. And it's great because it makes sense and he kicks ass. And it's a comic book accurate costume that wouldn't work in a Gambit movie. But it works in this movie. And his comedic performance and the overindulgence on that Creole accent really work so fucking well. But then there's a moment in the movie where you think Chris Evans is reprising his role of Captain America. But he's not. He's reprising his role of Johnny Storm from the fucking Fantastic Four. When that moment happened, when Chris Evans showed up, I went, they really fucking did it. That's Captain America. Shit. But no, it's Johnny Storm. Even me, a lifelong Fantastic Four fan, almost forgot that he played Johnny Storm. His role is great. Post credits. The post-credit scene is nothing teasing up anything coming up in the MCU or anything like that. But it is a good fucking payoff to a bit and a joke in the movie where Johnny Storm gets killed by Cassandra Nova because he's talking major shit about her, and Deadpool allows that information to be known, and we all think it's Deadpool's fault, right? And then in the post-credits, we see Johnny saying everything about what had fucking happened, or what he said. It was great. The spoilers in this movie are amazing. Elektra, that's cool. Blade, that's fucking awesome. Gambit with Channing Tatum, and some of these we knew, right? We knew Channing Tatum was going to be doing the Gambit cameo, but it fucking cameo, it works and it rocks. I was not expecting Blade. I thought Blade was just a rumor. It was great to see Wesley Snipes back as Blade. It was so great. And that moment where he says, there's only been one Blade and always will be one Blade, I think that's more true than we realize. I don't think Marvel's making this Blade movie, y'all. With Mahershala Ali and Mia Goth, I don't think it's happening. That being said, Sticky Fingers was a pretty good Blade, and that series, I don't give a shit what you think about it, it's way better than Blade 3. Blade 3 sucks. And yeah, we'll acknowledge it here for now. Sure. The movie was good. I had a lot of fun with it. Had some problems. Slowed up a lot in the first act. That's my biggest issue with it, is it was too slow to start. Right? Took a little bit of time to get into it. But man, Chris Evans back as Johnny Storm was so fucking fun. Cassandra Nova, such a great villain. It's TVA stuff, that's great. This movie should be the end of the Marvel multiverse saga. I don't think it will be. Because even though this movie sets up the end of the multiverse saga, also sets up the idea that the MCU has not been working since Endgame, I don't think Marvel has learned their lesson. Check out our video on Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom. But that being said, on its own, this movie really, really works. I liked it a lot. I laughed out loud. I had a lot of fun. I was hungover slightly. It was early in the morning for me on a Sunday. But man, the movie really fucking worked. So overall, out of 5 you digs, I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5. And that is my review of Deadpool and the Wolverine. Definitely a movie you need to check out. It's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of nuance. The best Wolverine performance from Hugh Jackman, in my opinion. And here's the other thing. When this motherfucker puts on his mask at the end of the movie, I never thought. I was always that guy being like, we don't need Wolverine in a costume. When he pulled on that fucking mask, it cracked me up. I loved it. And the connection they make of the costume to this character's journey really actually worked for me and meant a lot. So, I thought the movie was great. 4 out of 5 you digs. What did you think? Let us know in the comments down below. But for me, Deadpool and Wolverine gets 4 out of 5 you digs. All right, that's it for that. Let's take a look at the chat. Oh, by the way, the fucking second battle scene between Wolverine and Deadpool in the Honda Odyssey was fucking great. Chill Out Man says the third movie is always a goodbye movie, but if it's good like Ragnarok, you get a fourth. But yeah, but that fourth movie sucked. So we'll see what happens. Rogue Collecting says Deadpool and Wolverine did not save the MCU, but it did save many other characters and films. Well put. Rogue Collecting says the beginning really dragged for me. That's the part that I think dragged the most. Delight says they need to save. They need to make good films if they want to save the MCU. I would agree with that. Yeah, let's fucking go, Victor. Yeah, Blade. I got so fucking excited for that. Gambit was super funny, Evan. Chris Evans did really great. The end credit scene really cracked me up as well, Rogue. Oh, I thought it was Captain America immediately. And then when he's like, flame on! I was like, oh my God. Yeah, Gambit was like, I always been in the void because this film never got made. There were a lot of jokes about that. Evan says I give it a 4 or a 4.5. Oh, the Henry Cavill. I forgot to mention that. Henry Cavill as Wolverine in one brief moment was great. It was also great seeing Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. But here's the thing. He goes, classic John Byrne, brown and tan Wolverine. Nope, that's Frank Miller, brother. That's Frank Miller. Oh, yeah, the use of Madonna, too. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. And yeah, that farewell to the Fox movie universe, whatever that you want to call it, at the end there when they like showed all that shit, it was very, very touching. All right, it's time to dive into show and tell. For show and tell, since we're talking about the Wolverine, how about this? That's my original Toy Biz Wolverine figure with the Toy Biz Wolverine cycle. This figure stands out to me all the time because he has a removable mask. Right? That also stands up as a ring. So there you go. All right. How about a Joker mobile from the original Batman animated series? Had this for a while. The original Joker figure and the Joker mobile, which opens up to reveal the Joker face there. Just thought that was cool to bring up. Tomorrow night, PCP movie night. We're talking about the Dark Knight trilogy, y'all. So let me show off my Blu-rays. There is Batman Begins on Blu-ray. The Dark Knight on Blu-ray with a slip. They did a few different slips for this one, I think. And The Dark Knight Rises with the lenticular slip. Batman just shifts slightly there. But we got Horrorfest coming up. And Horrorfest kicks off with the Paranormal Activity franchise. So here's my Paranormal Activity Blu-ray set, which makes a cool, like, ghostly hand. I bought this on a whim, and that's why we're doing it this year for Horrorfest. All right, major shout out to Celluloid Dreams. Celluloid Dreams is a new boutique physical media maker, and they have made a few movies, I guess. But they reached out, and they wanted to have me review a movie of theirs. And I was like, yeah, send it to me. We'll review it. And they did. So coming up soon, we got The Case of the Bloody Iris, a 1972 giallo film. You know I love my Italian giallo. So they sent me a copy, but they really outdid themselves. I got an extra special slip cover that they sent flattened, so it's still pristine. They sent me a collection of fucking lobby cards. Let's open these up. Should have opened them up earlier. Rockin Robbie learning lessons. We're almost there, y'all. I'm very excited to talk about this movie. I have not watched it yet, but we will. So here's the collection of lobby cards I got from them. So everybody give out a shout out to Celluloid Dreams for hooking PCP up. Jesus. How drunk am I? All right, if you thought that was over, there's also a mouse pad they sent me, which is pretty fucking dope as well. So that's awesome. And now it's time for your official Final Five. All right, going through the DVD collection. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 7, the final season. Then we got The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Love this movie, never upgraded. Then we got Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, Volume 2. I have Volume 1, but it's actually at the comic shop because we have like a TV there that we play movies on or shows, and I have my Volume 1 there. A lot of my Disney movies I still own on DVD. I've never upgraded, but Cinderella is one of them. And then the greatest movie of all time, which I kept on DVD because it has the special feature of the documentary about the battle over this movie, but it's Citizen Kane. Great movies, great shows, and that is your official Final Five. All right, we're dipping out. Thank you all so much for joining the show, hearing my ramblings and my rantings. We're taking the next 2 weeks off. We'll be back August 18th, I believe, right before Horrorfest starts. But until then, know that breaks are deserved and earned. And I appreciate all of you. We love you, and we're dipping out. So thank you all so much. Station. Pop, pop.